Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I am going to teach you all of the tenses in the English language. For each tense, I'll choose the form, its different uses, and I'll share you some example sentences to help you fully understand it. So, if you are ready, let's begin. So, tense is the form of a verb which shows the time of an action and its degree of completeness. That means टेंस से हमें ये पता चलता है कि कोई भी काम कोई एक्शन है कब हुआ एंड what is the degree of its completeness, whether it is completed or it is still now going on or uh, it it will complete in the future, what. So like that we will come to know from the tenses. Well, before we get into the lesson, here's a chart showing you all the tenses. There were three times: present, past, and future. You could see on the table. And we have four aspects, that is also simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Now, what happens? These are the three times: present, past, future, and these are the four aspects: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. Clear? Now the times and the aspects, they combine with each other, and when they combine with each other they form like this: present time combined with simple aspect forms present simple. Present time combines with continuous aspect form present continuous. Present time combines with perfect aspect gives present perfect. Present time combines with perfect continuous aspect gives present perfect continuous. And likewise for the past and future. So in total we have 12 tenses in the English language. Clear? So in this way we will study one by one. Okay? We are going to discuss all these tenses. So let's begin with the first tense, which is a present simple. We make the present simple tense with a subject like I, you, we, and a verb in the first form. Subject plus verb, first form. Verb of the first form. Okay? First form of the verb we have to use in the present simple. For example, I drink coffee every morning. Kathy works as a teacher. Notice that in sentence number 2 that we have works with an S. In the present tense, if the subject is I, you, we, they, we do not need to add S with the verb. Repeating, if we have subject like I, you, we, they, in this case we no need to add S with the verb. But if the subject is he, she, or it might be someone's name, then we have to add S to the verb. Clear? Kathy is a female name. It's saying C, so we have said Kathy works. Now the first sentence here talks about a habit or routines that we usually do. Habits and routines means that we usually do the things. For example, I drink coffee every morning. मतलब कि वो रोज कॉफी पीता है. Sean goes to the beach on Sundays. That he usually go to the beaches on Sunday. Now here see, Sean goes. यहाँ पे क्या लगा? ES. Why we use ES? That also you should know. S with the plural and es with the singular. Okay, children often play video games after school. So these are some habits and routines. Clear? Now the second sentence which we used earlier, that was if Kathy works as a teacher, that was a fact. Here are some more examples. You sing very well. This is also a fact. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So, no, here in this third sentence, the fact is about the world. So we can say facts can be about people or they can be about things in the world. So that is the present simple tense. So this is all present simple tense. Firstly, we used the formula which we have to remember. Subject can be I, you, we, they, he, she, it or name, plus first form of verb, present form, first form. Here are some examples. Two main uses of the present simple in the habits and routines and facts. There are many more uses. For example, it is also used for the universal truths. For example, the sun rises in the east. That could not be changed. ये कभी नहीं हो सकता कि sun west वाली side से rise करे, right? So the sun rises in the east. This is a universal truth. 2 and 2 makes 4. Does it happen that 2 and 2 makes 5? No. So that's a universal truth. 2 and 2 makes 4. So, but the two main uses of the present simple is habits and routines and facts. Okay. So now, moving forward to the present continuous. Yes. Here we have present continuous. We make the present continuous tense with a subject, am, is, are, plus a verb in the continuous form plus ing. Now here again, subject could be I, he, she, it, you, we, they. Am, is, are plus verb first form. Here, when in the, remember this thing, present is going on, that means verb first form. Clear? Plus ing. Here you have to add something to the verb which is ing. Now we usually say I am, he, she, it, is, you, we, they, are. So now you could easily distinguish that where we have to use am, where we have to use is, and where we have to use are. Clear? For example, I am drinking coffee right now. The sentence shows the first use of the present continuous. To talk about actions happening now at the time of speaking. This is not a general statement. It's not about my drinking coffee. It's about what's happening at this moment. I am drinking coffee. Clear? Here are two more examples. We are having breakfast. It is raining outside. These sentences also express what is happening now. This is the first use of the present continuous. Clear? Moving to the second use, which is it's the second use to talk about temporary activities. Like Arun is learning to play the guitar. It means Arun is taking guitar lessons maybe twice a week. So he is in the process of learning to play the instrument. A couple more examples. I am watching really interesting TV series at the moment. My sister is staying with us for a couple of weeks. So these are the temporary activities, not the permanent ones. Clear? The next use is the third use that describes changes that are taking place or happening now. For example, English lessons on YouTube are becoming popular these days. It means that the popularity of the English lessons on YouTube is increasing. Okay? Here are some more examples. The price of crude oil is falling rapidly. Scientists say that Earth is getting warmer. So remember that the present continuous tense is used to talk about actions happening now, temporary activities and changes that are taking place. So these are the three uses of the present continuous. Alright, so we have discussed the present simple, present continuous. Now we will move into the past simple first. Before we move to the present perfect or present perfect continuous, first we will cover the present past simple. Clear? Let's move to the past simple now. Let's talk now past simple. We make the past simple tense with subject and verb in the past of form. Subject plus verb. Now here we will use verb, second form of the verb. We will use second form of the verb. Remember this thing. Subject, again subject could be anything. He, she, it, I, they, and name. Verb second form. Second form of the verb is related to past. Clear? Okay. This tense is used to talk about completed actions in the past. For example, I played saucer with my friends last Saturday. Corinne gave us a present for our wedding anniversary. The verb in the first sentence is play. We make the past form by adding ed to it. We do this for most verbs, but some verbs have some special past forms. You see that in sentence number 2, gave. That is the past tense of the verb give. We say give, gave, given. Right? These types of verbs are called irregular verbs. There are no rules for making past forms with them. So you have to memorize the correct forms. Here are some examples on the screen like give, gave, given, build, built, built, come, came, come, eat, ate, eaten, go, went, gone. Clear? But of course there are many more in English, and here are some more past simple tenses. We received the package this morning. My grandfather built this house in 1968. Antonio lived in Malaysia for 5 years. Okay, so these are some examples for the past simple. So in the past simple we have simple things, subject plus verb second form. Yes, in case we have to use the negative part, the negative sentence, in that case you have to use did plus not. Did plus not. Yes, remember one thing more in the past. When we use did, either in the negative sentence or in the interrogative sentence or in the affirmative, with the did we always use verb first form. We never use second form. This already indicating the past tense, but with this we have to use verb first form, not second form. Remember this thing. Okay, and in the simple present we use do or does. Okay, now let's move forward. Now we are moving forward to the past continuous. Let's move to the past continuous. Yes. before getting into the past continuous, there was a sentence, I was having dinner with my family when the doorbell rang. We are going to put this sentence on a timeline here. You have the timeline. The side is the past. This is called the timeline. Now, this indicates now, that means present, past and future. Okay. The sentence says, I was having dinner with my family. This shows an unfinished, ongoing action in the past. So I was in the middle of having dinner and something happened. The doorbell rang. So I had to put down my spoon and fork, get up from my table and go and see who it was. So the past continuous tense talks about an unfinished, ongoing action in the past, and normally we also mention another finished action that interrupted it. So we make this sentence past continuous tense with the subject plus was, were plus verb first form. Here we will use the verb first form only. Because why we are using the verb first form? Because it is in the continuous form. This is a continuous subject. Subject could be I, he, she, it, you, we, they, and was, were, then verb first form plus ing. Again we have to insert ing, add ing to the verb. Clear? Now you could correlate that, relate to the present. In present continuous we use is, am, are instead of was, were. So there is only one change, that instead of is, am, are we have to use was, were. Everything else is same. Clear? Now we say was for the subjects I, he, she, it, and were for you, we, they. If we mention a finished action that interrupted in the continuous section, it is in the past simple form. Subject plus past tense verb, like the doorbell rang. Here are few more examples. Let's see for the more examples. Like, it was raining when Priya left for work, so she had to take an umbrella with her. The power went out while the children were studying. Here we mention the continuous action second. The children were studying and the single finished action first. The power went out. While we were waiting at the bus stop, we saw a car accident, but thankfully nobody got hurt. Okay, that's it for the past continuous. So past continuous, for only one use is there, which is we have used for unfinished ongoing action in the past plus finished action. मतलब एक चीज़ है वो अभी हुई नहीं, चल रही थी, बट एक चीज़ उसके बाद ऐसी आई जो इंटरप्ट करने के लिए बीच में आई, बट वो फिनिश्ड एक्शन था. जैसे आई वॉज हैविंग डिनर विद माई फैमिली व्हेन द डोर बेल रैंग, कि मैं कर रही थी डिनर की, बेल बजी तो बज गई ना, दैट मीन फिनिश्ड. ठीक है, दैट एक्शन वॉज फिनिश्ड बट आई वॉज हैविंग अ डिनर, मेरा चल रहा था, मैं अभी खाना खा रही थी. क्लियर? So this is all about past continuous. And again, in the past continuous we can use this, if you have to use the negative tense, the negative sentences, in that case you have to use was, were plus not. In case of interrogative, was, were will become before the subject. जैसे was she doing her homework, क्या वो अपना काम कर रही थी. Clear? Like this. Let's move forward. Now before moving forward, let's do a quick comparison of the 4 tenses we have looked at so far. I drink coffee every morning in the present simple tense, as you can see on the timeline now. This sentence expresses a habit or a routine, something that happens regularly. I am drinking coffee right now is in the present continuous tense. It means that I am doing this action at this moment. I drank coffee yesterday express a finished action in the past. That coffee is gone. So this sentence is in the past simple tense. And in the last sentence, I was drinking coffee this morning when I got a phone call from my boss. We see two actions here. One is unfinished and continuous action. I was drinking coffees, that was a past continuous. And in the middle of that, something happened. I got a phone call from my boss, that is a past simple tense form. So my boss said, we need you at the office, it's important, get here right now. So I had to throw out my coffee and rush to work. Anyway, let's move on. We are going to look at the present. Now we are moving further to the present perfect. This would be the last tense for today. The rest of the tenses, the rest of the parts, we will cover it on Saturday. Okay? For today, I'll just complete with the present perfect. Yes. Present perfect. We make the present perfect with a subject plus has, have plus verb, third form. Now very important. Subject again, subject could be I, you, we, they, he, she, it. Plus has, have, plus verb, third form. We only have to use, now remember this thing, इसे cram कर लो, memorize कर लो अच्छे से, that either present perfect, past perfect or future perfect. In perfect, we only use verb third form with whatsoever is has according to the rule. For example, in the present perfect we have has, have, so we have to, but with the has, have, we have to use the verb third form. For example, give, gave, given. Given is here the third form of the verb. So in any of the sentence we have to use the given word. Okay. We are now going to look at the present perfect layer. So understand that we have to use verb third form only. So we say if the subject is if we, they, then have, and has if the subject is he, she or it. For example, I have taught English to many students. Ashley has visited France 4 times. We have seen 2 movies this week. The present perfect tense has 2 main uses. The sentence shows the first use to talk about her experience. Just wait. Yes. So here we have first use of the present perfect tense is experience. When people or we are talking about the experiences. Sentence number 1 is about my experience in my teaching career. Of course, I am still a teacher, so my career is not finished, it's continuing. We can say, I have taught English to many students in my career. But that's not necessary, it's understood. Similarly, Ashley has visited France 4 times in her life. So the time period here is Ashley's life, which is still continue. In the third sentence, the time period is this week. Maybe today is Wednesday, so this week is not finished. We might see another 2 movies before the end of the week. So in these sentences, the time period is continuing or ongoing. My career, Ashley's life, and this week. But if the time period is finished, we just use the past simple tense. For how? See. I have taught English to many students when I was a teacher. If I say this thing, that when I was a teacher, I have taught English to many students, that means वो मैं past की बात कर रही हूँ. Past simple में चला गया वो. ठीक है? For example, Ashley visited France in 2015. That is past. वो गई थी 2015 में. We saw 2 movies last week. हमने देखी 2 movies पिछले हफ्ते. So these are the past simple. But here we have present perfect, which is the action has been कि पहले भी चल रहा था, अब भी चल रहा है वो. Clear? I'm sorry. So in this way, this is the present perfect. So this is the first use of present perfect, to discuss experiences and continue ongoing time periods. The second use is to talk about recent actions or events. Now the second use is recent actions or events. Okay? How? For example, I have finished my homework. You can imagine a kid saying this to her mom. Well, when did she finish her homework? Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes ago. But that's not important. The important thing is the completion of the homework. You see this on the timeline now. The girl finished her homework just a few minutes, but that's not necessary. That's why there's a question mark, no mention of the time. Here's another sentence. Arthur has lost his glasses. We don't say when, because the important thing is that now Arthur doesn't have his glasses. One more example. The police have arrested a young man in connection with the robbery. So there was a robbery in the neighborhood recently. Now the police have a young suspect in custody. The exact time of the arrest is not important. In all of these sentences, if you mention the specific time, you should use the past simple tense. Again, how? For example, I finished my homework at 6:30 p.m. Again, कि मैंने अपना काम 6:30 बजे ख़त्म कर लिया था. So again, that comes in the past simple. Arthur lost his glasses at the party. अब मैंने has को हटा दिया है, सिर्फ second form of verb use किया, lost his glasses at the party. This is also the past simple. The police arrested a young man last night in connection with the robbery. जब मैंने टाइम पीरियड मेंशन कर रही हूँ मैं और पास्ट का कर रही हूँ, दैट मीन्स वो चीज़ वहीं पे ख़त्म हो गई है. बट इन द प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट वी हैव टू शो दिस एक्शन इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन. ओके, so in this way we are done with the present perfect also. So here we have some, well, remember 2 main uses of present perfect. One is to, first use was the experiences and second was the recent actions or events. So in this case we have covered present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect. We have covered the 5 tenses today in this lesson, and rest of the tenses I'll complete on the Saturday. So whatever the homework I am going to post it, please do it carefully, properly. If you are not able to understand the tenses, you could ask me anytime. You could contact me in any hour or in any time. But you have books also. You could go through the books. You could go through your BBCs. Go through your notes which you have on the BBCs. And if you don't have 7th class BBC, you could also get it from the 6th class BBC, which you have already, which you might, I think so, you should have it. You might be having. So this is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.